From volatility comes victory. Market screaming, headlines full of doubt. I zoom out, that's how kings are mapped out. Short-term noise can't shake my core. I've seen 3 cycles, I've survived the war. They want signals, I want strategy. They want fast, I want mastery. Charts don't lie, emotions do. That's why most fall and a few break through.
Unfold, stand your ground through the crash. Unfold, stand your ground through the crash. Through the sound, crown don't drop when the price goes down. Bitcoin wears it world renowned. Bitcoin wears it world renowned. Bitcoin wears it world renowned.
Pressure creates precision.
Hold on, fold, stand your ground through the crash, through the sound. Crown don't drop when the price goes down. Bitcoin wears it world renowned. Hold on, fold, stand your ground through the crash, through the sound. Crown don't drop when the price goes down. Bitcoin wears it world renowned.
Bear market forge, pressure test, separates noise from the best of the best. Paper hands exit, stories get thin. Builders stay, that's where kings begin. No hype trades, no hero calls. Just structured plays and protocol walls. Stack the edge, repeat the plan. That's how empires expand. Time and market beats the chase. Patience always wins the race. While they sprint, I architect. Slow precision earns respect. Zoom out, see the frame. Every cycle, same old game. Fear and greed, repeat the song. Only the disagreeing last long.
Whispers turn to future shock. Doubt turns into afterstock. History favors those who stay when others choose to run away. Through the night, through the red, through the voices in your head. Stand your line, don't let go. Storms will pass, kings will grow.
No shortcuts carved in charts of fire. Only structure lifts you higher. Every scar becomes a guide. Every drawdown builds inside. Legacy trades, not lucky hits. Process built in layer bits. When the next wave hits the sky, prepared minds are first to fly.
Hold on, stand your ground through the crash, through the sound. Crown don't drop when the price goes down. Bitcoin wears it world renowned. Hold, stay cold, read the flow. Fear gets loud, winners grow. When the chaos tries to take your throne, kings get built when you trade alone. Fear gets alone. Discipline is silent. The crown chooses who
Alright, legends. Welcome to another live stream. Let's get the party on the road. Let's do some technical analysis here on the price of Bitcoin. Hope you're all having a wonderful Wednesday. It is cold and chilly here in South Africa at the moment. I hope it doesn't spoil with my weekend plans, but we'll see. We're going to make the best of it anyway. So for those of you that don't know, if you haven't watched yesterday's live stream, I will not be here tomorrow and Friday. Okay, well, basically I won't be here from tomorrow until Sunday. Okay, I'm going away. having a little bit of fun, but I'll send the community some photos of what I'm up to. Okay, we all have to take a break from the chart, reset our brain, connect with, well, I like to connect with nature, walk barefoot, hug a tree, okay, whatever you like to do to have fun. Okay, so I will not be here tomorrow and Friday, but Andy will be here and he will be looking after the community. So you guys will be left in really, really good hands. Okay, but I'm going to take a little bit of a break. But before I go on the break, we need to discuss what can happen here on the price of Bitcoin. And hopefully I can get into a trade, maybe a swing trade that can last over the weekend. We'll see how this unfolds. And we need to discuss the level that the bears needs to hold in order for price to continue here to the upside, because I can see sentiment is turning very bullish very quickly, and the only thing I see everywhere is people talking about $85,000. Okay, well guys, I am unfortunately the person that tells people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Okay, because I've seen, you know, when you tell people what they want to hear, they love you, they praise you, okay? But then they start hating you because you're not showing the other side of the token. And if you are wrong, okay, I like to show both sides of the token to say that, well, from a bearish perspective, this is what we can expect and this is where I'm going to look for a short. From a bullish perspective, this is where I'm going to look for a long. Bullish perspective, this is where I'm going to look for a long. Because from a day trading perspective, I just want to trade the structure and make money. Okay, I don't care if we're going to $85,000, but I want to be in that long. I don't care if we fall down from here, but I want to be in that short. So I need to look at both sides of the equation, always as a day trader. Okay, so when people want to hype the communities up or the audience is up with $85,000 thumbnails, if they are wrong, they're going to get some hate. And that's why I like to look at both sides of the token, okay? Because I can be bullish now, and then 2 hours later, I'll tell the legends in the community, I'm looking for a short. And they'll ask why. And I said, because the structure is showing me that price is going to fall down. Okay, this is where I'm entering, this is where I put my stop loss, and so forth. But anyways, guys, I believe we have some high impact news today. I just want to check, I just want to bring up my calendar here. Let's just check. Do we have some high impact news today? So Wednesday, we have PPI month-on-month Fed interest rate decision. So today is going to be a big day. Okay, 8 o'clock tonight is going to be where we can expect some volatility. Okay, so maybe we're going to get the dump now before we get the pump later. Maybe it's some good news, or we're going to get the pump now and we're going to get the dump later. Okay, because you guys know, you know, when you get the pump before the news, you usually get the dump, and vice versa. Right, I have bad news for the bears. I have bad news for the bears. Okay, well, I hope you're in that long. If you have bad news for the bears, I hope you are positioned or you're looking for the long, but I will do some analysis on the smaller time frames. Okay, so today, quite a heavy impact news today. Okay, lots of news tonight. So maybe the market is just going to chop around until the news, but I have my plan regardless. I actually do not care about the news. I don't like to trade the news. There's a difference. I don't like to trade the news, but if I'm already in a trade, by the time the news happens, I'm positioned, and usually my positions are already protected. So the market can do whatever it wants. It stops me out. I make money. It doesn't matter. So as long as I have my plan ready. Okay. Very interesting for me to say. I'm not sure if you guys can see. Just, I mean, this is a technical things for all the techies out there. I know maybe you like this. Okay. I like it when I hover my mouse over my tabs to see how much resource the tab is using. And this new CVD that I'm testing out is using 100 megs, okay, and the old one that I used to use is using a little bit more, 70% more. So I like what I'm seeing here on this new CVD template that I'm busy testing out at the moment, that it's using very low resources, because you know when you start opening up tabs and it uses RAM, you run out of RAM, everything starts slowing down, and you think you have to buy a new computer. Meanwhile, it's a RAM issue. So these are some of the things that I also look at when I test out new platforms and websites, because I know, for example, the liquidity heat map, I'm not sure if you guys know, the liquidity heat map uses a lot of resources. That's why I rarely open it. Okay, so I like to look at it and then I close it. almost a gig, a gig of RAM. Guys, it's just for the techies out there. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, this is why I don't like to leave tabs open that I don't need, because they eat into the resources and slowing everything else down. But now we need to discuss what is happening here on the price of Bitcoin. So let's dive right in. Remember to smash up that like button if you haven't done so already. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. This is where we do pure technical analysis based on probabilities. I look at Elliott wave theory, breakout strategies, volume, harmonic patterns. We do a little bit of everything over here. The only thing that I don't do, because I don't like it and I have tried it, is moving averages. You will never see a moving average here on my chart unless it's the VWAP. Okay, unless it's the VWAP and maybe the anchored VWAP from a higher time frame perspective. But that's it. Okay, you will not see me trade moving averages. I know people generally out there are obsessed about moving averages. It's just not my cup of tea. Okay, I don't need moving averages to make trading decisions, but I do most of everything else. Okay, right guys, so now let's dive into the technical analysis. There's a couple of stuff I want to discuss. And I'm not sure if Andy maybe spoke about this yesterday. I saw he did a little bit of a later live stream or update yesterday. I didn't watch that yet. But as per the discussion yesterday as well, you can see that little pivot that offered the breakout. Okay, so this is resistance, guys. Above the highs, that's resistance. Okay, and price consolidated, it broke out. It came back for a beautiful retest and got continuation. Price lost the level and now it's retesting it again. So this is definitely an area on the larger time frame where price could get the rejection to the downside. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a little bit of time looking at that structure, and I will discuss what am I looking at in the local structure. But from a higher time frame perspective, you can see that we are hitting resistance. Okay, and it's quite a significant resistance. So the bulls really need to pull up their socks and they need to start closing higher time frame candles above this level to show that they are breaking through the resistance and going to continue momentum here to the upside. The next level that the bulls have to contend with, okay, let's say it does break out and it continues. Okay, first tick, we are now above resistance. You still have this trend to contend with. And we all know what happens with trends. So far, this trend only has 2 taps. Most often, a valid trend has 3 or more taps. So this could be the third one and it rejects. And you have 1, 2, 3 taps, and maybe by the fourth one is usually most often where you see the breakout. From a backtesting perspective, when you go and backtest trend lines, you will see that most often, okay, the third tap gives you a fake out. Most often. Not always, I'm just talking about probabilities. What happens when you go and backtest trends? What happens most often? What happens the second often? What happens almost never? So, you know, those are some of the things that I keep score of when I backtest strategies. So most often the third tap gives you a fake out. It fakes out and it falls down. And then on the fourth attempt, you see the true breakout after the low has been claimed. So guys, these are just some of the things that I'm keeping in the back of my mind. So for me, if price does continue to the upside, it does not reject here. Okay, because there's a short that I will discuss. I will definitely jump into a short if price does reject here. I will show you how I'm going to get into that short. But if price does continue to the upside, okay, you have resistance, that order block that I've shown you on the daily time frame. It's going to be a tough nut to crack, okay, because you could get a little bit of a fake out and a massive rejection to the downside that takes the lows. So from a structural perspective, these are just some of the things that I have to consider from a technical perspective. You could get your third tap and break out on the fourth one. Okay, so people that are saying that we are going to $85,000, $100,000, I've even seen thumbnails saying $280,000. I don't know where people get those numbers from. Okay, but nonetheless, guys, I'm just a day trader, and remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I encourage you to do your own research. If you believe we're going to $280,000, okay, that's your prerogative. If you believe we're going to fall down and go to $30,000, that's your prerogative. My question is always whether you are right or whether you are wrong. Did you make money? Because I did. Okay. And it's not about being arrogant. It's really not about being arrogant. It's about just trading the structure in front of me. I don't care if price does this, and I don't care if price does that. I don't care if it does this. I don't care if it gets the fake out. I will be looking for shorts. I will be looking for longs. I will be looking for longs, and get in with great risk management, because inside of this zone, okay, let me zoom into the structure here on the, let's do the 2-hour time frame. Let me switch this off. Just something out of interest. I went and I did a little bit of a summary of all the trades that I took during this range. All the trades that I took during this range, I did a little bit of a summary. Okay, I'm not sure if I still have it here. Here we go. Here are all the trades that I took during this range. And during this range, I don't care if we're going to $100,000 or if we're going to $60,000. Yes, I have the scenarios and the probabilities, okay, to see how price can move from a larger time frame perspective. But here are all the trades. There was 2 stop losses. One got stopped out with a small loss and the one at break even. Okay. And then obviously I think it was this trade over here where I got stopped out twice looking for the short, but I got stopped out twice with profits. So I can't really count them as failed attempts. I took this long. I took a long over here, and these trades were shared inside of the community. I took that short where I made the video. I took a long from the 786. I closed my position by accident. I wanted to leave a runner. You all know the story, but no, it's a successful trade. I took a short. I took a short. Okay. There was 2 shorts that are mini shorts. If you zoom in there was 2 mini shorts that I took over there. Not so long ago, I took that mini long, okay, from the 0.5, fib from the high to the low 0.5. At the moment, I'm in no trade. So now I'm looking for a new trade. Okay, so I have made money during this range. And I'm not obsessed about whether we're going down or whether we're going up. I literally just trade the structure in front of me. So from a day trading perspective, I don't care. From an investment perspective, okay, I want price to go up. Everyone wants price to go up from an investment perspective. But from a day trading perspective, it doesn't matter for me. Okay, it really doesn't matter. Because my question, you know, for people, and I know there's a lot of them, maybe not in this live stream, okay, maybe not here by me and Andy on the Mind Pillar community. Okay, but I see the comments and I see how people argue amongst themselves. No, it's the bull, this is the low. You guys are going to see that this is the low. And then you have the other half that people are saying, no, we're going to reject. You're going to see we're going to go to $40,000. Does it really matter whether you're right or wrong? My question is always, did you make money? Whether you're right or wrong, did you make money? Where did you trade it? Did you get in with great risk management? Okay. And even if you did not take any of the trades inside of the range, if you believe this is the low, are you positioned? If you believe that this is the high, are you positioned? Okay. So guys, it's anyways, let me not go back into that. Right. You get the point. Did you make money? Do you have a plan? Are you trading your plan? Okay. Because while most people are arguing, I'm trading the structures in front of me from a day trading perspective. So guys, if you are new here to this channel, this is basically what we discuss. Okay. I do not care if it's a bull or bear market. I'm trading the structures in front of me. And I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this structure and tell everyone what needs to happen for the bulls to remain in control, where I'm going to look for a long, and what the bears needs to do for me to look for a short. So depending on how price develops over the next couple of hours, I will be positioned. Hopefully I am in front of the computer, but then you also know that if I miss the trade, I miss the trade, because I always know there's another way to get into a trade. Right, and I will keep the community up to date, and let's dive into the technical analysis. So for now, I'm just going to go through a couple of scenarios, and I want to start here with, let's start with an 8-hour scenario. Let's just take a little snapshot of where we are. Okay. I mainly watch these kind of streams to see the overall aura of people, what is very important to me. Great. Biggest lesson I learned to tell myself, did you make money and TP before the police comes? Yes, I love to say that. Okay, I like to take profits before the police comes. Okay, definitely, it's a good strategy, and protect your position. Okay, I like your confidence when you analyze the chart. Sometimes Andy shows indecisiveness in his analysis, and so far I've not seen that in your show. Thank you so much for the compliment, but I know that Andy is an absolute legend. He might not seem confident in some of his analysis, but maybe that's the scenarios that he doesn't see high probability in. But I mean, Andy have taken some amazing trades inside of this range as well. And I think Andy has actually made more money inside of this range, taking almost the similar trades to me. But I saw some of the P&Ls that Andy shared. Okay, he's made an insane amount of money. So even if he doesn't sound confident, he's made money in the inside of this range. Okay, what is the regular target of the Gartley? The targets of the Gartley already played out. So I'm sure some of you saw the Gartley when I pulled up my stuff. Yes, I have a folder that's called stuff. It's just where I throw random stuff into so it doesn't mess up my folders. Okay, this Gartley, and I remember talking about this Gartley, which and I will never forget, Mr. Osrin pointed out this Gartley. Mr. Osrin also bought my course and he completed the course. So he knows that I teach this inside of my course. And Mr. Osrin was the person that said, I think price was here. Maybe price was here somewhere. And Mr. Osran came onto the stream and he said, Dewald, I see a Gartley. And immediately when he said Gartley, I saw it as well. Okay, lower high, high, lower high. That's usually how I identify them. 786. Okay, beautiful. 786 tap over here. That's also where I took that long trade. Just want to see if I still have it here. Okay, that's where I took this trade. Based on the Gartley, I took this trade. Because I knew it's either going to be the 786 or it's going to be the 88 and it will be a crab. The only difference between a Gartley and a crab harmonic is this. That's the only difference. That's a crab. That's a Gartley. It's just that little bit of a difference. Okay. And Gartley patterns, for those of you that don't know, are also known as reversal patterns. And they have 3 TP areas. It's the 0.618 between the C and the D point, which is your TP1, more or less in that zone. That is your TP2, and that's your TP3. And this is how people that only trade Gartleys trade Gartleys. That's how they TP themselves out of the position. Maybe you leave a runner because they're also known as reversal patterns. So once TP3 gets hit, this is why I was upset with myself when I closed this long, because I knew that the Gartley pattern is also known as a reversal pattern. So my plan was to take majority of the profits here, like 85% of the profits, and leave a runner. And now price is here, above the A point. So I wanted to leave the runner, but I accidentally closed my position because it was late at night. I can't remember all the reasons. It was late at night, I was tired, and I clicked on the wrong button. Okay, I think I dragged the slider to 100% instead of 80. I can't remember what I did, but I closed the position and I told the community I stuffed up. I wanted to leave a runner and now I'm out of the trade. But nonetheless, I'm still happy that I made profits. My plan played out. Okay. And right now, also, I'm very happy. Maybe it's just me. I'm very happy that this got invalidated. This fractal that was trending all over social media got invalidated. Okay. Really happy that it got invalidated because that was the high that should have rejected. You have a high, you ever so slightly formed a lower high over there, and for this fractal to have played out, you needed to see the dump to the downside, and the dump didn't happen, we bounced. And now we invalidated, or price invalidated, this fractal that everyone was talking about. And I think part of the reason why I was hoping that this fractal gets invalidated is because I saw the people arguing about this fractal, saying that it's going to play out. Like, how can you be so confident that something is going to happen exactly the way that it's happened in the past? I have not seen any fractal play out 100% exactly the way that it's played out in the past. I've never seen a fractal do that. And I was actually a little bit glad, and I told everyone, let's just invalidate this damn fractal so that people can stop talking about it. Okay. Right, guys, I think I've said a lot and I haven't said anything. So let's get the scribble here out the way. And that's basically what I wanted to highlight with the stuff. Okay, now we need to do a little bit of fresh technical analysis. Let's just look at some of the scenarios. I'm going to go back here onto the 2 hour. Wait. I want to go to the 8 hour time frame and start off by talking about. I do have it here. I know I have it here because I put it in here. There we go. Let's start by talking about this scenario. Okay. So from a bearish perspective, price could be forming a B wave and you can still get a dump to the downside. And this is why this trend for me is such an important resistance area. It doesn't have to get there. The only requirement for a B wave is that this structure has to be a 3-wave structure. It's not allowed to be a 5-wave structure. And for the moment, it's still a 3-wave structure. Okay, so people that are talking about $85,000, $90,000, $100,000 are already banking on the fact that this is going to form a 5-wave structure. I first want to see the 5-wave structure before I will turn bullish. That's the difference. Okay, and I think that is how people get themselves into trouble. You are speculating on a structure that is going to do something that it hasn't told you it's going to do. Okay, for this B wave to get invalidated, you want to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to say, okay, the bulls have taken control, because once you see a 5-wave structure, it opens up the doors that this could be a reversal. And it's the retracement that becomes interesting to join the next move to the upside. But I have to see that first before I will post a thumbnail and say, okay, while price is falling down here, people are going to turn bearish. They're going to say, oh, that was the high. We're falling to the downside. Then I will add a thumbnail on YouTube and say, I think we're going to $120,000, $130,000. Because now I have confirmation to say that. But I can't say that yet because for the moment, this is a damn 3-wave structure. Okay, so I feel like sometimes people are jumping the gun a little bit with their thumbnails on social media. Okay, right, it can happen and then you were right, but I like confirmation first, because at the moment this is a 3-wave structure. There's no 5 waves, so the bears still have control. For the moment, based on current price action, the bears are still in control. Yes, it can change later, but I don't want to speculate on something that could not happen or does happen. Okay, I'd rather wait for the 5-wave structure, and then I'm going to be like, now this looks interesting. Okay, over there. But that's not where I long. I do not long over there, because every 5-wave structure has to correct itself. And guys, I'm hammering on this, and I went through this yesterday as well, because that's how important it is to me to wait for confirmation. And you have to be very patient, because if I take a bars pattern, where's my Mr. Bar pattern? Okay, let's just look at this impulse. No, that's a bad one. Let's look at this one. Okay, and we do that. So for the bulls, now let's talk bullish. To invalidate this, for the bulls to invalidate and to increase the probabilities that we're not coming down, this is what I want to see. It can be a little bit smaller, but let's put it like that. That is what I want to see. Okay, this is not where I long. I long the retracement. Okay, but I need to see the 5-wave structure to make a trading decision whether I want to long over here or not. Okay, if price remains a 3-wave structure, okay, if price remains a 3-wave structure, that always to me then becomes a shorting opportunity. Because that, I think, you know, just let's just say this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see the 5-wave move there. But also when price corrected over there, I remember it because I did live streams during that correction, okay, from this fractal. It was a higher probability corrective structure because I couldn't count impulses to the downside. And I kept on telling everyone, if this is the high, which is this fractal, if this is the high, I cannot count an impulse to the downside to continue. There was a higher probability that this is corrective. Therefore, I bought the dip. And I did a live, I think Mariela, you were in this live stream, you remember. Okay, some of you might have been there as well. I bought over there and people told me I'm cuckoos. Why did you buy over there? Because I told them, well, I see a 5-wave move up and I see a corrective structure down. And I analyzed the counts here from an Elliott wave perspective, and I said there's a higher chance that we make a higher low before we claim the low, okay, and take out the high, which price did, based on my analysis inside of that structure. So for me to turn bullish, okay, and start talking about $100,000 or $200,000, I have to see this. I have to see this. And then based on how the correction forms, choppy, overlappy, doesn't make sense, okay, you have to force an impulse in there. Those are some of the things that I'll look at. I will make a trading decision whether I want to join the next move to the upside. Okay, but also from a structural perspective, higher high, you have a high chance to make a higher low. Okay, so I have to wait for structure to change. And this is why I'm saying, guys, if this is going to turn out to be super bullish, and if I'm now wearing the hat to say that this is the low, let's say this is the low, we're not going to claim it. We're going to invalidate the WXY. And then basically you have an A, B, C that came to an end over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bear market is done. Because that is basically what that means. There's a chance that the bear market could be done way before everyone expected it to be done. But I need the confirmation. And there's no confirmation yet. For now, the bears are still in control until I see this. Okay, hope that makes sense. Okay. Also, I need structure to start changing, because for the moment, since the high was created over here, you still have lower high, lower high, lower high. Okay, lower lows, you guys get the deal. So the trend is your friend until the end, and so far the trend is not invalidated. Okay, momentum is still to the downside. So a bounce always becomes, for me, technically a great shorting opportunity. Like that was a great shorting opportunity. Okay, 3-wave continuation, 3-wave continuation, inside of 3-wave continuation, and for now this is still a 3-wave structure. So that is what I wanted to start with, just to show, well, just to paint out the picture, well, where are we from a higher time frame perspective? And basically, you have the trend to contend with, okay? You have an order block, consolidation, for lack of a better word. You have resistance in this zone. Okay, and there's still a higher chance that you can take the low until proven otherwise. And I need price action to prove me otherwise. And then I will change my tune. So you guys can see that I use price action to change my tune, whether I want to be bullish or bearish. Okay, not because I feel like it, or I want price to go up. Okay, personally, I want price to go up from an investment perspective. I bought here quite aggressively from a spot perspective. So I want price to go up, but I know that the bears are still in control. So I already bought here, and I will buy some more if price gets there. And this is where I'm going to get aggressive, very, very aggressive with buying. Okay. Now, good day, Mariela. I was just talking about you. Thanks for joining the live stream, Mr. A Trader. I see Andy made you a mod. Well done, man. I see you have the spanner next to your name. Well done. Okay, you must have been shooting the lights out there in the Andy live stream, but I always see you making positive comments here as well. Okay. What a fresh show. Hilarious. Sea of current consolidation. Okay, Jackie Wood, welcome to the live stream. Always sharing love here inside. We are in a third wave of a current sea. Anyways, guys, what I want to focus on now, because I want to move away from the higher time frame. I want to now discuss this structure. What could happen here? Okay, is it going to remain a three-wave structure? Is the high in and we're going to reject? So I want to look at that local structure, but first let's look at the structure as a whole, and then I will zoom into the 15-minute time frame, 5-minute time frame, and we can see where, well, my trading plan, okay, for today. So let's take this out the way, go on to the 2-hour time frame. Let's focus on this little structure over here. Okay, I know it might seem that I'm repeating myself, because a lot of what I'm saying today I've said it yesterday as well, but you know, price is still where it is at the moment, so those scenarios are still valid. Okay, and I will keep on talking about them until they've played out or they get invalidated. So on the 2-hour time frame, we still have, oh, that's my local stuff, I'll get there now. That's what we just spoke about. Let's start off with the most bullish case scenario. And that is basically the one that I've shown you what I need to see for confirmation. This is the one that everyone is talking about. This is the thumbnails that I see everywhere. $85,000, $90,000. Okay, this is the scenario. This is what you want to see play out. Price has formed a 1, a 2, and it needs to go up for a 3. And I at least want this third wave to claim $85,000. At least that would be my minimum target. So yes, there's a chance price could get here at $85,000. But after you claim $85,000, I still want to see a fourth wave, and I want to see $85,000 claimed again. 90,000. I want to see this, because that will give confirmation to the bulls that you have formed a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. Yes, and this fourth wave can extend. You can get a longer fourth wave and then another move up, as long as 4 does not go into the territory of 1. That is the hardcore rule. Okay, so basically you want to flip this resistance into support. Okay, you want price to pop out here, come back, retest, and continue to the upside. And here by $92,000, that is where I'm going to flip bullish, based on how the retracement falls to the downside. Okay, technically there are, unfortunately, a couple of problems. Well, 2 problems, okay, with this scenario, but it's not invalidated. So the bulls still have a chance for the scenario to play out. It is not common to see a short impulse with such a long correction in a wave 2. It's not an invalidation, it's just not common to see it. So it can still play out. Okay. You also have another teeny weeny wave 1 over here. Teeny weeny wave 1. Okay. You guys can see there in the green box. And an awfully long correction compared to the wave 1. Also, inside of this wave 1, you have an extended fifth wave, which is also rare. So you have a lot of rare stuff happening here to give probabilities to the bulls. So from a technical perspective, I can unfortunately not give the scenario the highest probability based on the current price action until I see that. And that's just technically how I trade. And technically, this is what's kept me profitable as a trader, because I trade probabilities. What do I see happen 75 or 80% of the time? What do I see happen 25% of the time? I would rather place my bets on something that I see happen 75% of the time than placing my bets, all of my money, okay, on something that only plays out 25% of the time. That's how I trade probabilities. Okay, I will put my money based on probabilities, and it needs to be 75% at least. 70%, 75%. So this structure, unfortunately, until the bulls can prove me otherwise, carries low probability because of the issues inside of the structure, but it's not invalidated. So there is that argument to be made where people are saying, well, maybe, just maybe, because this was the low. Maybe, just maybe, because this was the low, the market makers are going to give us something that doesn't seem likely. So that is definitely a valid point to argue. But then I want to see the 5-wave move to the upside so that technically I can change my mind. Okay. And then sometimes it is what it is. Sometimes a low probability scenario plays out. And maybe this is exactly what the market needs for a low probability scenario to play out. Okay. So I wanted to discuss the most bullish case scenario has not been invalidated. What needs to happen more locally for this scenario to stay intact is that this invalidation at $70,000, 256 should not be claimed. Okay, you guys can see the invalidation here on my chart. So for the bulls to remain in control, this low should not be claimed. Because I cannot count this structure any other way from a bullish perspective to continue to the upside. I can only count it as a nested 1-2. I can't get a... You can force a diagonal in there, okay? You can force, because I saw someone also counting this as a, what if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contract? I don't know. You can force a count in there, but the count that technically makes the most sense is a nested 1-2, and that's exactly what you need to get acceleration to the upside. In order for this third wave to gain momentum, you need nested 1-2s, because it's the only structure that will get it there. It's building up a spring, and you're going to get the explosion. Okay, so when you have a 1-2, a 1-2, a 1-2, it's building up that spring. It's forming that consolidation area. It pops out, and then you get those 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, it's the only structure I think that's going to get us to this $85,000, $88,000 area. Okay, so it's building up a spring over here. Invalidation, $70,000, 256. Yes, potentially you could not invalidate the scenario if it does claim that level, but it's going to look very bleak. Okay, probabilities will significantly start to reduce, okay, for this, if this low is claimed. Because the best way to get there is a nested 1-2s, and it also counts the best from a technical perspective. Okay, so now let's move on to the next scenario. Some of you might be asking, well, what if this is the high? What if we're not going to go higher? What if this ding was the high and we're going to reject? Because I must say, okay, the only bullish count that I can count in this structure that makes the most sense, where I don't have to force counts, is a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Okay, do not claim the low, and at some point it 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 to the upside. Okay, that's the bullish count that makes the most sense. The bearish count that makes the most sense to me is a WXY. Okay, you have a W, you have a X, basically A, B, C, D, E, and a triangle. Okay, and now you have formed an A, a B, and a C inside of a Y wave. Now that for me counts beautifully to end off a fifth wave that did not tap the invalidation. So if there's a bearish count where this is the high, this is it. You formed a WXY. Okay, I did see that some people count it as an ABC. I don't like it because of this. I don't like it because of that. Because when you take a fib from the high to the low, that little bad boy tapped the 1.618. Okay, so guys, you know, I just use technicals to work out probabilities at the end of the day. Okay, when I take a fib from the high to the low, I drag it across. Where did price reject? Okay, let me zoom in, show you. Price rejected at the 1.618. So if this is an A and a B and a C to the upside, because I see some people are counting it like this, that's a problem. Okay, it's not an invalidation, and I see some technicians, some Ellioticians, what they call themselves, will say that the 2 extension is an invalidation, which is slightly above the 2 extension, and they will still accept an A, B, C in a running flat, even if it claims the 1.618. They are just extremely rare. They are extremely rare, but you can count the structure as an A, B, C, or, which I prefer, it just makes more sense, a WXY. So there is a way in which you can count this high to be done. Basically, that's what it boils down to. In this scenario, you want price to build impulses to the downside, and I'll get to the local structure now to show you what I want to see. So, if this is the high, okay, if this is the high, there's a chance that you have formed an ending diagonal. And I do give preference to an ending diagonal because they happen more often than a leading diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In an ending diagonal, all structures have to be three-wave structures. The correction and the movements to the upside. You can count a three-wave structure in 1, three-wave structure in 2, three-wave structure in 3, and guess what? Three-wave structure in 4, and then also a WXY, which is a three-wave structure in 5. So for the bears, if we do not move up, okay, this could be your high. You did not tap the invalidation for the scenario, and now you want to see impulses locally built to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to see a 5-wave move to the downside. That is where I'm going to join the party to continue momentum to the downside. Okay, I'm going to zoom into this local structure now to show you guys what I'm looking at. Okay, but in a nutshell, that's basically what you're looking for. Okay, right, remember to smash up that like button if you haven't done so already. And also, guys, I do keep the community up to date. I've already shared all of the analysis and my plan, my trading plan for today inside of the community, and I'll keep them up to date. DM me the word access if you want to be part of our community. Okay, there you go. Just want to make sure. Yeah, DM me the word access, nothing else, just access. Okay, nothing else, just access. People write me essays when they message me. Okay, there's an automated message that goes out that gives you instructions on how to join the community. Okay, so if you want to get that automated message, just playing open cards here, you need to DM the word access, nothing else. I will still reach out to you. Okay, even if you don't write the word access, it just takes a little bit longer because I manually have to go through all the messages, and I do get a lot of messages from people. So if you have sent me a message and I haven't responded, I sincerely apologize. Please acknowledge that I do get a lot of DMs from people. You know, from a Devil, what do you think about this? Devil, I'm underwater. Those ones I also get a lot. You know, people that are underwater with their trading account and then they want help. What can they do to get out? Or, you know, they want some advice. So DM me the word access. There's my Telegram. And I'll send you instructions on how to join the community. If you do send me another message, it might just take a little bit longer for me to get back to you, but I usually try and get back to you on the same day. Okay. If I've missed your message, please just send me another message. Okay. Right. Now, let's take this scenario out the way and let's talk about ABC 1 hour. Let's talk about this scenario. Now, here is another bearish scenario. It is bullish in the short term, but it's still bearish because it's still a three-wave structure. Okay. This is what I'm looking at. You have a three-wave structure. It's still bearish unless it does that. Okay, so that is going to change my mind, but I'm still looking for a short. Right, in this scenario, you are now still busy with a C wave. And yes, you can say this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, because that has to repeat itself to the upside. So whether this is a 3 or whether it's a C, I'm looking for a short. Because if it's a C, it's going to be a great trade back to the bottom. If it's a 3, okay, it's also going to be a nice little trade to play the correction for continuation to the upside. I get stopped out most probably with profits because you guys know me by now. I take profits on the way down. I don't just bank on the fact that this is definitely a C. We are absolutely going to take $60,000, and then I was in profits and I get stopped out. No, that's not how I trade. I like to pay myself. Okay, even with this long that I took over here, okay, I paid myself. I took 50% profits over there. I knew that there was a bullish case scenario that could take us higher, but I don't bank on that fact. When I took this long, I took profits. That's just how I trade. Okay. So in this scenario, let's specifically focus on the scenario. As long as the structure remains a three-wave structure, okay, very interesting liquidity sweep. Maybe it goes, you know, chops and it falls to the downside. I will be looking for a short and I will keep the community up to date because these little structures, Okay, if this had to play out 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5 4 5, they are my most profitable structures to trade according to my trading journal. That's where I make the most money because I know exactly how to trade this structure. Love these structures. Okay, so I want this structure to play out because I know exactly how to short it. But it's still a three-wave structure, so this short could be an epic short to the downside that claims $60,000. This is your bigger B. Remember on the higher time frame, that's your bigger B. It's a damn three-wave structure. You fall to the downside, it rejects at the trend that I showed you on the higher time frame, and that's specifically why I showed you the higher time frame, so you now know how the structure fits into the larger picture. Okay, now let's talk about WXY. The only way in which I can count a WXY as completed over here is that ABC. Remember what I showed you about the 1.618. So yes, you can force an ABC over there, but it has the similar thing as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You reject, you fall to the downside. So it's basically the same as this one. It's the same result. It's just counted differently. Okay. This is the end. You formed an ABC and now you want to form impulses to the downside and with a retracement join the move to the downside. You can also see what's interesting about this scenario is where price rejected at the 786. Okay, and why that is so interesting is that this one also rejected at the 786. Was it this one? I think that was the low of X. Let's just reverse this back to the upside. Normal. There we go. How ironic. 786. WXY. ABC in a Y. WXY. ABC in a Y, exactly the same target. Very interesting, right? I like to think that the market doesn't repeat. Let's see how this plays out. And okay, so there's another count. Then I want to go to, well, now this is where things become a little bit more complex. This structure can still morph into something very unexpected. So I like to call this scenario the spanner. This is the spanner that maybe no one will see coming. Okay, this is the spanner scenario. You know, when the market makers want to throw a spanner in the works, well, this is something that could play out. Okay, you have formed an A wave in a WXY, gives you an A. Now you're busy with a B wave. And a B wave has to be a three-wave structure. 1, 2, 3. So price falls to the downside. Everyone believes, okay, that was the high, the WXY. We're gonna fall. $30,000 here we come, and it bounces, and then it goes and it claims the high again. Now this is the spanner scenario that I think no one is going to expect. You have the massive drop to the downside. It does build impulses. It bounces, even makes a higher low than that low, and then it goes and it claims the liquidity above. Okay, and then it falls down. So this is really a spanner scenario, and I think it's a scenario that no one will expect. Okay, A, B, C, it's still a three-wave structure. Price rejects. Okay, same zone that I'm looking at for the rejection, and then it falls to the downside. Right, so the spanner scenario, I need to rename this the spanner scenario. Okay. Right, now we need to discuss the local time frame. This is now where it gets interesting. I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting for the local time frame. Dealt what is happening more locally, because it is the local structure that determines the next move. Okay, so now I know, based on all the scenarios that I've shared, if this structure is going to be bullish. Okay, this low should not be claimed. So if there's any chance of seeing $85,000, that low with high probability should not be claimed. And whatever is happening here Okay, even if price falls to the downside, you want to form a higher low and you want to see continuation. So that is now where my trading plan starts to kick in. If price gets here, I'm going to be interested in a long. Okay, if price moves up from here, I am interested in a short. And I will explain to you exactly why I'm looking for a long and a short in these zones. So let me go on to the 10-minute time frame. Let's just zoom into this local structure. Because I now know the most important structure, it doesn't matter how you count this on the higher time frame, is this structure. This is the most important structure because this is going to give me the information that I need to either enter a short or a long. I can count a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes, it does count beautiful as a 5-wave impulse to the upside. And now this could be the correction. The first thing that I like to look at is time. And I'm not sure if I still have it. I don't know if I have it already mapped out over here. Local. I usually save it as local. Okay, but I'm going to draw it out for everyone. Okay, so now, first thing I do is I look at the fib from the low to the high, just to get my levels ready. The second thing I like to do is specifically if I'm now looking for a long. Okay, it could be an epic long that takes us to $85,000. You know, this is what people are saying on social media. Okay, then I look at time from the low to the high of the structure. Okay, it is for me a little bit concerning that this low was made before my minimum requirement, which means that your correction up until that point where the lowest point was made is very short compared to the impulse. Ideally, I would like the low to be made after the 0.382. So if price maybe bounces up, it comes back down, then you have a 3-wave structure that becomes an interesting longing opportunity for me. Okay, and this is also why I'm looking for a short. Right, because this can morph into a 5-wave structure. And then I don't have to look for a short with a retracement if I'm already positioned. Okay, so let me just quickly explain my trading plan for today based on the current price action that I see is because this low was made before my minimum requirement. I will still consider a short in this zone because I know that there's a higher chance that the correction is not finished. And this could be your first momentum to the downside. It goes up, it grabs the liquidity, and then it comes back down. And then from a timing perspective, this low makes more sense for me to long. Okay, so if price continues to move up here, this is where I'm looking for a short. And from a price action perspective, it's the only zone that makes sense for me. Because when I zoom into this little structure, okay, and I take a fib from the high to the low, I can see that this consolidation area from a price action perspective can provide resistance. So the most interesting short that I will be looking at is inside of this zone. Because you have price action, you have the 7 fib, you have the 786, which is usually a maximum target for a wave 1 or 2. Okay, so I can also count this structure as an impulse, so that could be a 1. Okay, you form, I'm not going to go into the detailed counts, but basically you form a 3-wave structure to the upside, okay, to form your wave 2. You reject and you fall down in a wave 3 or in a C. So this can either be, and this is why this is a little bit of a conundrum. This is where the fight is going to start between the bears and the bulls. The bears wants this low to be claimed. Let me just grab my pen there. The bears wants this low to be claimed. The bulls wants to form a higher low for continuation. So when you see a 1 and a 2 and a 3, that could also be an A, a B, a C, which corrected this impulse longing opportunity to join the next move to the upside. Okay, this is where I'm looking for the short, and this is where I'm looking for the long. My trading plan will be also as follows. Okay, And I will keep the community up to date if this unfolds today. Maybe with FOMC meeting, you know, a lot can happen. If price does fall here to the downside, if it doesn't come to my area of interest, I'm not interested in a short. I'm happy to miss the trade. But I do know, you know, the market makers love to sweep liquidity. So if price comes back up, maybe rejects at the 618, it doesn't even come to my red box, I will still maybe have an attempt if I see the price action that I, you know, from a reactionary perspective at the 0.618. Okay. So if price falls down in a three-wave structure, it's an interesting longing opportunity. For the bears, you want to see a five-wave move. So let's say I miss the short for some reason. Maybe it does this and it falls down. I miss the short, but it's still a three-wave structure. Can you see? I'm still interested in a long. Maybe I catch the long. But if price does the following, if price falls down in this fashion, it bounces and it makes another low. Then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will be looking at the retracement for a short. But I need to see the five-wave move first. As long as it remains a three-wave move, there's a high chance you're going to take out the high. And this is how I plan to trade this structure. Okay, from a simplicity perspective, okay, maybe there's a nice little trend that's going to form over here. Okay, let me just take the time fib here out the way because you guys get the point what I'm looking at from a timing perspective. Take the scribble here out the way. Yeah, that's basically what I'm looking at, guys. And I just lost my train of thought. I wanted to say something and I lost my train of thought. So for now, while I get my train of thought back, let me go into some comments. Yeah, guys, it's just the structure has to remain a three-wave structure. To increase the probabilities to claim that high, you want to form a higher low. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Maybe it does this. Okay, it falls down. You have a trend. Okay, maybe it rejects here. Maybe you have a steeper trend to the downside. Price chops against the trend, breaks out. You can also apply your strategy. Okay, what I do like about this zone, is the price action. That consolidation area can provide support. Here at the 0.618, you have that consolidation area that can provide support. Okay. So I will keep the community up to date as the structure unfolds. If price continues here to the upside, I'm interested in a short. Because from a timing perspective, it doesn't make sense for me for this to be the low. So maybe it's going to form a larger three-wave structure. Now that makes sense to be the low, where I'll be looking for a long. Okay, if it does that, stops me out, then I'm going to be looking for a short in that zone. Because after a five-wave move, you have a corrective structure back up. You can continue to the downside. Okay, and I hope I've explained it as best as I possibly can. I'm really trying to keep it simple, but for the bulls, you have an impulse. So you want price to form a higher low to get continuation. The bulls do not want to claim this low for an increased probability that momentum is going to continue. So if I'm a technical analyst that wants to join the move to the upside, okay, I'm looking for a higher low. There is a little bit of a spanner situation that can happen over here, and I'm very aware of it. Okay, there's a little bit of a spanner situation. Okay, if the bulls are going to take control and price is just going to rampage here to the upside, maybe it does that and it just rampages to the upside, it doesn't come to my area of interest. I'm very aware of the spanner situation. The spanner situation is that you basically get a long corrective structure that goes sideways, but it does not go deep. But it continues sideways, because that could form, you know, maybe a W, a X, and a Y in a triangle, and then your correction is done. But what's most important to me is that it continues in time to off, because of how short the correction is at the moment. It needs to extend a little bit more. So the longer price chops sideways and doesn't go up and doesn't go down, the longer it goes sideways, there's an increased probability. Okay, you have your trend that it's going to break up and continue. that is I know it gets very technical, when you think about Elliott wave theory in terms of what could play out over here, but I'm very aware that you could get a WXY situation over here where the correction basically continues and then you break to the upside. Okay, but I will keep the community up to date if I do jump into a short or long, the reasons why, if the structure, because yesterday I also had a plan. I told everyone as price was falling here to the downside, I shared my plan inside of the community. Okay, this could be an A, a B, a C. I told everyone I'm looking for a short. Okay, I'm looking for a long down here. My long did not hit, my short did not hit, but then yesterday I played that short. So as price action develops, I can very quickly switch my plan. Yesterday, I jumped into this short and I told the community about it. I tried to post it as quickly as possible because I saw the spike up and I knew, okay, it can reject. Yes, I got stopped out, but I got stopped out with profits. Okay, let me go here on the community. Let me show you guys. Okay, as that rejection was taking place, I told everyone, ooh, 2 zones I'm looking for short. We just got the rejection above the range high. Okay, and I immediately just thought about the range high strategy. Okay, and showed everyone, got into the trade, not the best entry, but it was a profitable trade. Okay, and it was basically, just to keep it simple, you have the range high. I love these range highs. Okay, you have the range high. You have an increased amount of volume. Okay, you have an increased amount of volume, and that first high that you make is what I label as the range high. And then you get the choppiness. And usually what happens is you go grab the liquidity above the range high and you want to see the rejection. Bang, which we got. So I entered. Right over there. That's where I entered. I saw the rejection. Okay. The rule for the strategy is you should not tap this level multiple times. So when price fell down, obviously I took profits and I protected my position because I know the rule for the strategy. The rule for the strategy says when you tap the level again, you want to get stopped out because it increases the probabilities that you're going to fill the inefficiency. So it could go back up and fill the inefficiency. And that's basically why I jumped into that trade yesterday. So based on how price action develops, I will very quickly change my plan. Okay, that for me was just a range high strategy. Okay, someone asked me, I think it was Simon asked me, Devil, from an Elliott wave perspective, why did you trade it? And I said there was no Elliott wave for me. I just saw the liquidity sweep, I saw the range high, and I saw the mess down here. So for me, I just applied my trading strategy. Sometimes I don't have to count the structures to trade them. I just apply my trading strategy. I knew exactly the rules for the strategy. You want to see the rejection, I know exactly where to put my stop loss. You take profits on the way down. I protected my position, which I told the community. I protected my position because the rules of the strategy also states that you don't want price to come back up because then it increases the probabilities of filling the inefficiency. So still a successful trade. I made profits. Okay. Right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, let me go through some more comments. A lot of comments here in the stream. Let me do this. Okay, let me put the comments on here, the screen, put myself here in the corner. Just want to click on the right buttons. Let's go through some comments. Let me make this a little bit bigger so I can see the comments well, you guys can see the comments properly as well. Mr. A Trader, let's get the likes to match the number of viewers. That will be absolutely amazing. I've only seen that happen on my channel. Okay, I know Andy has been struggling to get that right on his channel, to get the same amount of likes of the people watching the live stream. On my channel, it used to happen often. I have 300, 400 people watching and I get 300, 400 likes. Okay. If that can happen on this channel, I will be blown away. Okay. I would literally give 3 people $100 each. I will do a giveaway of three people will win $100 each if we can do that. I don't think we can, because I've never seen it happen on Andy's channel, even when he tries to do giveaways. So let's see if that can happen. Okay, we have 137 likes. We have 248 people on the stream. So guys, you have your job cut out for you. If 3 people want to win $100 right now, okay, let the likes needs to match the number of people watching the stream here at the moment. Then I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay, I'll make you a mod. I'll pick 3 winners. I'll make you a mod, and you can share your address, and I'll deposit the money right after the live stream into your account. Okay, like the stream, Blixens. We have some Afrikaans people here in the live stream. Mr. Scrapjanot Daily. New daily level above. Yes, very valid point. We do have a daily level. Almost forgot. Thanks for reminding me. We do have that little daily level there above as well, where we could get the rejection, which is basically a liquidity sweep. Okay, but I would like to see the inefficiency fold. Okay, based on the strategy, nothing really else. I would like to see the inefficiency fold because we tapped this level twice or 3 times already. Okay, so what would be great is to get that rejection back below the daily level. Okay, and that you could have your A, your B, and then your C to the downside, where I will look for that longing opportunity, where I will be looking for the shorting opportunity. Okay, let's get back into the comments. Okay, 157 likes. Ooh, people are liking, people are liking. Okay, if you guys want to make some cash, destroy that like button. Right, but thanks for the reminder, Mr. Junior. Everybody pump it up. You've got to pump it. Mr. A Trader is such a positive person. Like people, do you want $100? I just want free entry to the community. Well, you can, yeah, I can do that as well, guys. I can do that as well. Okay, the winner can also get free access to the community for 2 months. I can do that as well. I'll give you the $100 and you'll get free access to the community. If you can get the likes to match the number of people on the stream, I'll do it, because it's, guys, and this is for me not an impossible challenge. This has happened on my previous channel a couple of times. Mariella the mods here will tell you, on my channel I've had more likes than people actually watching the live stream. Okay, why can't I like twice? Well, if you like twice, you got to unlike the stream. Right, let's go for the giveaway. What else? Just in case the number matches, pick me. Come on, people, use a finger. Like Blixums, less daily. Be aware, later today there will be a Fed rate decision. Volatility may appear. Yes, Mr. Rudy, I'm very aware of what could happen a little bit later tonight. We have some high impact news. Okay, I think it's going to be very, very interesting. If I had to play this out, how it could happen is, I think if it's going to be bullish, I want to see the drop before the Fed. I want to see the drop. That might not happen because that goes into tomorrow, unless this happens quickly. Maybe we get the drop now. Okay, because there's a chance to pump from here. If it's going to be bearish, maybe go here first. Go there first if the Fed interest rate decision is going to be bearish, because lower high, you all know, lower high. Okay, you want to see price go down. But yeah, let's see how that unfolds. I'm not going to trade the news because that's not my style of trading. But if I'm in a trade, I will definitely manage it appropriately. Okay, what else? You are teaching me to fish. Much appreciated. Bokat? Pleasure, man. 98.25. Giveaway, yes. Okay. My trading life changed when I learned to take profits. Absolute legend. That is amazing. I'm always, I do get a lot of bad messages in the sense of people that are underwater and they ask me to help them save their account. Okay, desperation. It's not nice to get those messages, but I must say I do get more messages from people sharing appreciation, and I'm always grateful for those messages, because it makes it worth myself and Andy spending the time preparing for these live streams, designing the thumb. There's a lot of work that people don't realize that goes in behind the scenes, okay, to do a live stream like this. Same for Andy, looking after the community, okay, because guys, I could just be trading. I don't need to do this. I make enough money with trading. I don't need to do this. Okay, the reason I do it is because I want to leave a legacy behind. I want people to learn to do it properly. Okay, I get frustrated when I see other influencers mislead their communities. Okay, and and myself and Andy's morals are very similar in that way. Okay, that's the reason why we're doing it, right? it's still a business at the end of the day, and this is why, you know, we can't just give everything away for free. It's still a business. You know, our sweat, blood, and tears goes into this as well, so we need to make at least a little bit out of it as well. And right, we need your legacy. Thank you. How much is the community after the 2 months is free? I think it's $79 a month, or you can pay $549 for lifetime access. Then you're there forever. Once-off fee. There's a once-off fee, or $79 a month. Okay. But you'll see when you message me, there's things that I can share with you. Okay. I like to say if you've signed up with one of the affiliates, the supporting affiliate links here down in the description. Okay, you are active. We can have a discussion. Right. I like to look after people that look after us. Right. How many likes do we have? 183. Are we going to get there? Guys, I'm going to stay on for 3 more minutes. I have to go by 12. Okay, it's now 4 more minutes until 12 o'clock. If we can get to 240 likes before then, I will give 3 people $100 each and access to the community for 2 months. Okay, and I'll just randomly select people over here. Pump the likes. Thank you so much, Deerwold, for sharing your precious knowledge with us and teach us. It's an absolute pleasure, man. You know, unfortunately, I had to learn it the hard way, but I also see it as sometimes things happen the way they're supposed to happen. Because I think if I didn't, I was that typical trader, okay, that learned to trade, I think, the hardest way possible, because I made every damn mistake that you can make as a trader. I burnt account. I liquidated accounts. I FOMO'd. I bought the wrong tokens. I got scammed. I got hacked. I was part of FTX. I was part of Luna. It feels like I had to go through all of that so that I can come here today on YouTube and hopefully pave the way for you so you don't have to fall into all those pitfalls. Because I wish there was a Deerwold when I started out. I really, you know, and I guess that's the hat that I try and wear, is to say that if I was watching myself right now when I started out, what would I need to hear to make me profitable, or let me see the light of the end of the tunnel? Okay, I just want to access with much more than $100. I want to learn. All the best, Deerwold. Okay, being hacked hurts. Yes, when I got hacked on my Phantom wallet. I had about, you know, guys, and this is when I started out. So $20,000 for me was a lot of money, and they stole all my Solana, $20,000 out of my wallet. And that was when Solana was still at the bottom of the bear market. My Phantom wallet got hacked. Anyways, through a damn NFT. Okay, clicked on the NFT and I got hacked. Glad you are with us, dear old Mr. Jeroen. How many likes do we have? Guys, I don't think we're going to make it. We're almost at 200 likes. So what I will do is we will keep on trying in every stream. Okay, if we can get the likes to match the number of viewers, or get at least close enough, just close enough, I will give 3 people $100 and free access to the community for 2 months. Right, guys, I have unfortunately run out of time. There's 1 more minute. Let's stay on for 1 more minute. Let's see if we can do. Let's see if we can go. Okay. Druk die knoppie. Let me just show that. Right. Come on, guys. 200. Can we get to 200? Can we at least get to 230? Okay. 200. Can make enough likes. Invite your families to the stream. We can make enough likes. Okay. Legends, we are so close. Can we get there? Can we get there? Come on. Come on. Telegram, 200 likes already. Okay, I know that there was almost 250 people on the live stream. I can see that people are dropping off now, so I'm not gonna, you know, expect 250 likes. Okay, can we get 10 more likes? Can we get 10 more likes? Okay, can we push it to 220? We're getting 200 hearts. Yes, I can see all the love people are sharing over here. Yes, yes. No, people have stalled. I think everyone here have Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. Right, guys. Right. There we go. There we go. Okay. We almost there. Oof. 4 more likes. 2 more likes. Are we going to get there? Go. 1 more. We are stuck at 218 likes. Well, let me refresh this. Let me refresh this. What? Ooh, okay, guys. I'm a man of my word. Okay, I'm a man of my word. Now, let's do the giveaway. Okay, let's do the giveaway. What I'm going to do, okay, because it's going to take too long for me to do the payment here live on the stream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select 3 winners, and I'm going to give you something that you have to message, okay, in order to stand a chance to win. Then I'm going to make you a mod. I'm going to make you a moderator for today. Just for today, I'm going to make you a moderator so that you can share your address with me. Wherever you want me to send the money, I don't care. Wherever you want me to send the money, don't share your address now. Please don't share your address now. I'm going to tell you what you need to message. Okay. Once I've selected the 3 winners, I will make you moderators. Okay. I will copy and paste your addresses from the comments, and I will send you the money right after I end the stream. Okay. Then what you need to do, how am I going to give you access to the community? Okay. I'm just trying to think, well, how am I going to give you access to the community? Okay. I'll think about that one, but for now, let's pick the 3 winners. I'll think about that one. Okay. Message me the word win. Just message me the word win, and I'll select 3 winners right now. Okay, message me the word win. Let's go. Let's go. Win, there we go. We have our first winner, the person that messaged first. Let me just stop the comment here. Okay. Whoops. No. Go back down. Okay. Who's that first person there? Why is my mouse not working? Yo, you guys are going crazy. Let me just grab my ThinkPad over here, because for some reason it doesn't want to go back up. Why is my car? When? When? Okay. This is the first person. I just want to see if I can. Okay, Hen. I want to go back to that comment. I want to go back to that one comment. That's the first winner. That's the first winner. I want to go back here on the moderator comment. Sorry, guys. I need to just take my keyboard here out the way. So we have our first winner, which is Hen Rekutsia 5568. Okay, I have just made you a mod. There we go. Standard moderator, save. You'll get a message to say that you've been made a moderator. Okay, now for the second winner. Let's do the second winner over here. Okay, yeah, now you scroll. Now you scroll. Okay, now you daddy scroll. Let's select a second winner over here. Mr. Olivier. Let's do Mr. Olivier over here. Okay, Mr. Olivier. Let me see if I can find you here in the comments in the other platform. Okay, Mr. Olivier. Here we go. I'm going to make you a moderator. Save. Okay. Now let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Who else? Who else wants the? Ooh. Guys, unfortunately, I cannot let moderators win, okay? Unfortunately, Mr. A Trader, unfortunately, I can't let moderators win. I think that's just unfair. Okay, right, let's go. I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to stop, and I'm going to choose the bottom person. Yeah, Ulu Rocks. Okay, this, wait, I don't want to lose you. Ulu Rocks. Let's see if I can find you here. You have been made moderator. Add as moderator. Guys, maybe we can do this often. Okay, maybe we can do this at least once or twice a week. Okay, it doesn't have to just be for today. You guys really smashed the crap out of that like button, and I appreciate that. Okay, save. Okay, so now the 3 winners that have been made moderator, please, okay, share with me. You can even do it after the stream if you don't have time to do it now. You can do it in the comments. Because you've been made moderator, I can see that you're a moderator. Okay, please share with me your address to where you want me to send the money to. I will be using the smart chain, the BNB smart chain, PEP. I think it's called PEP. Okay, the BNB smart chain. So please send me your address for the BNB smart chain so that I can send the money to you. Okay, Devil is the man. Right, guys, I know I can't let everyone win. Okay, I did say 3 winners today. You will also get access to the community for 2 months. I'm just now trying to think, okay. How am I going to give these people access? Because I know if I'm going to tell these people to DM me on Telegram, I'm going to get DMs from everyone. Okay, and I'm not going to be able to know whether it's you or not. So I'm trying to think about a way in which I can give you access to the community and I know it's you. Okay, because I know. Okay, there we go. There we go. I have the first wallet. I'm just going to copy this quickly. Guys, I need to copy this. There we go. Copy. Let me save it here in my notes. First address is here. Let's do this. And that is for Mr. Hen. Kutsia 5556. Obviously these comments are saved onto YouTube, so if I have to go back, I can always go back. Right, congratulations to the winners, by the way. Okay, I'm still waiting for 2 more addresses. Okay, USDT wallet, that's fine. It can be USDC or USDT, it doesn't matter, as long as it's a stable coin. Okay, just now I sent you Bitcoin, and by the time it gets to you, it's dropped. Maybe you're lucky and it's climbed, but let's keep it to a stable coin. Okay, it can be USDT or USDC if you use the BNB smart chain. PEP, I think it's called PEP. You guys know the BNB smart chain, the network. I'm going to send the money via that. So you have to give me the right. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much. Absolute pleasure. Here we go, Mr. Olivier. Copy. Let me paste this. Guys, it's going to take too long for me to send it right now, so I'm going to do it after the stream. I just want to get the details so that I will do it right after the stream. And you are more than welcome to pop into the next stream and tell people whether you've received your money or not, because I'm just I'm just honest when it comes to things like that. I'm not going to tell you you've won and not send you anything. Okay, Mr. Olivier. Willie. Lefir. Okay, there, I've got the second address. Now I'm still waiting for the third address. Let's go. Waiting for the third address over here. You rock. Pleasure, man. Thank you, Mr. Devil. Absolute pleasure. So I'm gonna, Lefir, I'm not sure. So for the mods, what you can maybe do now, in the after the live stream, go and write me a comment. Okay. And I will then communicate with you inside of the comments to organize you the access into the community. Okay, I think that's the best way I can do it. Because you're a mod, I will see that you're a moderator in the comments. So if scammers are trying their luck, okay, they won't be able to because you're a moderator. So after the live stream, just send a message to say, hey, Devil, I've won, okay, and we can have a conversation. I can organize you access in the community. Right. Who else are we waiting for? I'm still waiting for someone. I know I've selected 3 winners. I'm still waiting for the last address. Okay, can't wait to see you in the Legends community. yeah, it's absolutely amazing in the community. People are helping each other out. We've got some very experienced Elliott wave counters, people that Rudy, for example, I saw him here in the live stream as well. Rudy is a legend when he trades his altcoins, when he shares his P&Ls. Okay, a real mentor to a lot of people. Mr. Rudy is also in our community. Okay, I don't see anyone else's address coming here. Okay, who else won? I can't even remember the people that won. I have to rewatch the live stream. But if you're not going to share your address, I can't send you the money. Okay. I will not be able to send you the money unless you've already shared it. Just share it again. Just share it again here at the bottom. Okay. I've made 3 people mod. And I only have 2 addresses. Okay. Unless the person that won disappeared. He's gone. We are stuck at 218 likes. Yeah, stuck at 200. I won. Ulu, was it you, Mr. Man? Where's your address? Where's your address? Mr. Ulu. Come on, man. Where's your address? I won. I am here. Mr. Ulu, please share with me your address. Okay. No problem. Send me. I need. Guys, maybe I'll do this once a week, okay? Give 3 people the same that I've done right now. Maybe sometimes it will be sending now. Maybe it will be sometimes it will be a bit more. Maybe it will be a bit less. We'll see. Okay. Right. But you will get $100 after the live stream. I'll send it directly after the live stream, and send a message after the live stream in the chat, in the comments section, and then I will see how we can arrange for you to have access inside of the community. Okay. Because I can ask you guys to DM me, but I know that 100 other people are going to DM me pretending to be you. So I need to make sure that it is you. So I'm just trying to, I'll figure this out, guys. The next one will be a little bit easier. I'll know exactly how to do it. Okay, especially the access to the community. Right, guys, I needed to be out of here 12 minutes ago already. I'm just waiting for the last address. Thank you so much for smashing or destroying that like button. I really appreciate it. Okay, we are at 237 likes. We actually got very close to that 240. Okay, very close. Okay, so Mr. Ulu, if you are not going to send me your address in the next minute, then I'm going to ask you to send it to me in the comment section. You are moderator, so I know it's you. And then after I've sent everyone their money, I will remove the moderator role. Okay. Ulu, come on. Come on, Ulu. Maybe Ulu is only, if you need an exchange, the links are down in the description where you also get some nice bonuses. So maybe you won and you don't have an exchange or a wallet. Okay, there's Bluffin, there's 2bit, right? If you need something to open it up with, okay. Ulu, let me know if you'll be able to send it now, or you're going to send it in the comment section, because unfortunately I need to go quite soon. I really need to go. I'm late for something. Okay. Ulu, come on. Come on, what is price of Bitcoin doing? He needs to sleep. Right, guys, let me put myself here back in the corner where I belong. Okay, more likes than people are watching at the moment. I think we have made history here on this channel, guys. We have 239 likes and we have 176 people watching. Okay, obviously a lot of people have dropped off the stream because I stopped with the technical analysis. People that didn't win just left. Okay, so sending now. Okay, sending now. Perfect. I've got you here. I've got you here. Sending now. Okay, waiting for your address very patiently. Okay, I think what I will do next time is that I will give people 2 minutes to send their address. If you don't send your address in 2 minutes, I select another winner. I think that's how I'm going to do it next time. Okay, because guys, I can't just sit here and wait the whole time. Okay, I've got other things to do as well. So Mr. Ulu, it's fine. You've won for now. There we go. I've got your address. Thank you so much. Okay, but next time when I do this giveaway next week, I am going to give people a time limit. Let me just copy your address here. Okay, I'm going to give people a time limit. Mr. Ulu, I will never forget you again. Every time I see you, I'm going to be like, hey, Mr. Ulu, here we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. I really appreciate every one of you. I'm looking forward to seeing the 3 new people in our community. It's going to take me some figuring out to get you in. Please remember, I will send you the $100 now right after the live stream, and send a comment, make a comment after the live stream, okay? And then I'll organize you the access inside of the community. Let's go. Right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Until the next one, remember, I'm not here tomorrow and Friday. I will see you all on Monday again. Andy will be looking after everyone inside of the community. Have yourselves an amazing day. Until the next one, cheers for now.